So this is a recap for live stream 297. You see here we've had a losing day, and it was somewhat due to one large losing trade, and that's pretty much what threw the entire day off. So came into the market just after 1 Eastern, started the day well in terms of trades, had a few winners, was trading these low volume areas on the periodic volume profile here, and it was working for me. Took a couple of trades using moving averages, that was also working. But what happened was this trade through here, so we had this area, we had low volume, and I didn't quite let price get all the way up. I should have taken it off earlier, so I went short. Price came up, should have took it off right about there. Instead I thought, well, the moving average is there, I'll wait to see if the setup off the moving average. Set up off the moving average, so double the size, double the amount of contracts being used, and that of course it stopped, so took a much bigger loss than I wanted. At that point I was actually up on the day, but after this loss went negative, and from there I started to spiral. Stopped using what was working for me, which was the low volume areas on the periodic volume profile. Kept taking trades off the previous days. There was an area off the previous days close. This should be up here at 379. It's right there. Kept taking trades off this area somewhere around the previous day, and ultimately chopped up, gave away the profits through here as well. Went short, price turned around, hit the stop. There was a pretty big loss through here. Went short again, hit profits, decided to use this short, which didn't work the first time, off this large bearish candle. Went short, did notice that prices were stalling down here, and also if we look back, price did come into this area in the 51s to the 55s, but I didn't put much emphasis on that area. So prices stalled a bit, eventually stopped me out. Eventually, as prices came back from these highs, went short, immediately turned around, was stopped out. Through here again, I think I went short, was stopped out again. Eventually decided to go long, adjusted my stop to break even. Once prices hit 22, price came down, hit my break even, which was very frustrating. After that, came back up, went long, put my stop at break even. Once price got to 21, price got as high as 27 before turning around and hitting my break even. So it's a rather frustrating day where I took a couple of break even stop outs. There was even a stop out earlier. Yeah, there was this here. Went short. Price went in my favor quite a bit. Came down to that 379. That was actually moved. I should have locked it in place. Came down to 379. Held a position. Thought we could see a real sell-off down to the low 300s. Prices turned around. Stopped out for break even. And this was off a bit of a head and shoulders pattern. So in reality, what I should have done, don't think he played out anyway. No, he wouldn't have played out anyway. No, wouldn't have played out. So that was off that bit of a head and shoulders pattern. So this shoulder, this head, this shoulder went short. Price went in my favor quite a bit, came down in towards these lows. Down towards, I didn't go quite that low, did it? No, it didn't. Came down in towards these lows here. Got stopped out for break even. So a couple of stop outs for break even, which if I took target 1 would have somewhat mitigated some of the losses. Would have been a losing day, but wouldn't be as big a losing day. Overall, on the trade performance, we can see here, this is when I was trading the volume profile and those low volume areas. You can see grew the account somewhat choppy. After that big loss, you can see just never recovered. Went as low as 81, managed to get to 51, made new lows at 100 before getting down to 34. At this point, I actually thought I was going to go positive on the day, but series of losing trades, managed to dig myself into a bit of a hole, was down 43 after a couple of break-evenish trades, down 38. Over on the summary page, we can see here, lost on all trades, lost a lot more on short trades. Clearly I was biased towards the market selling off as much as it did. So if we look at the market here, if we look at a 5, we can see the market sold off a fair bit through the European session, coming into the US session on this 5-minute chart. Accuracy was down at 41%, which isn't too bad. Profit factor is negative, which is not great. Average win to average loss, I'm actually surprised. I thought there would have been a bigger discrepancy between the average win and the average loss. But 0.8 isn't too bad. Largest win to largest loss, that's not great though. 28,936 and 15,948. Time in the market about 2 minutes, which is pretty standard for the 15-second chart that I am trading. But I certainly think there are some positives to take from today. This area through here, trading the volume profile, certainly gives me a lot of positives to take away. Although flipping between the different profiles is a little bit difficult. As you can imagine, there's quite a fair bit of data looking for these areas, but these areas seem to work pretty well. The low volume areas on this periodic volume profile. So I'll continue to use this. I'll also think about how I'm using these moving averages, if I can make some adjustments there, or if I'm going to have to eliminate them altogether, if they are going to give back the profits I'm making on a profile. But with that said, thanks for watching. Good luck trading. Have a great day.